Welcome back, friends, to another Gktech install. This is our take on a classic part that I've seen on many a 240 yet have never owned one, the SR20 engine torque dampener. And these come in two versions, one to suit the S13 and the other to suit S14 and 15 versions with that same good old SR20 as well. This is the motor without the torque dampener. Look at it, sitting here looking like it wants to do a barrel roll right out the engine bay. This is the engine with the torque dampener installed, looking calm, cool, collected, and ready for clutch kicking action. Step 1 to keep that thing from emergency ejecting its way through your hood is going to be to procure one from the website. Step 2 is going to be giving it a shimmy. Flipping the box open and magically arranging things on a bench, you can see that you get the strut bracket, which obviously bolts to the strut tower, and then the engine bracket, which installs conveniently to the engine since it's in the title of the part. Next up, you get the bracket hardware that includes nylon locking nuts to keep all the torques from loosening them up. Then, the bolts that will be 100% better than the zip ties you were thinking about using instead to attach everything to the head. Then you get the world's fourth cutest shock absorber, which is the key piece in taming the stable of over 200 horses you have penned up in that little four-banger. Now that we've explained what everything is and or does, there are two ways to install this, by assembling everything outside the car or on it. For our purposes, we will be doing it on the bench first. Grab the strut bracket, the tiny strut, and some hardware and slip the bolt through the bottom of the bracket, then pop on the tiny heim on said bolt. Then grab nylock number 1 and tighten that down and torque to the specs here that have popped up on the screen. You are now one step closer to taming all those ponies. Now head to the car and loosen and remove all 3 of the strut nuts. Ring toss the strut bracket onto the studs, then tighten and torque the nuts down to these specs. Head over to the engine side of things, grab that engine title bracket, and install the bolts into the head. Casually look back at the screen to check the torque specs you knew I was going to say, and do that. Lastly, grab the other dampener bolt, line everything up, then javelin that sucker through the strut into the bracket, tossing on the final nylock nut from the bottom side up, and you guessed it, torquing it down to specs. Now, some top mount setups, intercooler piping, and or piston melting hairdryer options will interfere with the torque arrestation dampener install. So, peep the screen and check out the distance from it so you can see if it will fit before purchasing. It is now time to adjust the dampener preload. Adjust in or out so that it has just a bit of pressure on it whilst resting, then tighten the locking nut down so that it doesn't self-adjust on you later. This means the next time you try and clutch kick the engine out of that bay into orbit, it will be held firmly in place by the 4th cutest strut ever and keep all parties involved happy and well. Enjoy that peace of mind, my friends. This is us. Gktech is some rad freaking dudes who absolutely love doing cool stuff with the buds, just like you. We also have socials, probably just like you. So go check them out. If you can't install this, please have a professional do it or reach out to us with any questions to the address shown right here on the screen. This has been Officer Dan, Johnny Caps, Josh, and my strut is bigger than yours, Zach, with another Gktech how-to. Peace.